How comfortable are you with a stranger in your bed? There was this lady who was married, happily married, is what she said. And whenever they both went out for dinner or lunch, she would always tell him, "Choose for me what you choose for yourself. I'll eat the same." She was comfortable, she was okay, and she was all over him. She admired him, adored him, until one day he found someone else and left her to herself. And that's when she found a stranger in herself. She didn't know what she wanted. She didn't know what her choices were. She didn't know what she liked. Familiarity is all about spending time with anything or anyone. We are all familiar with a friend, a spouse, our gadgets, books, or it could be anything. Are we familiar with ourselves? Do we spend enough time with ourselves? There was this lady who went through a very bad experience when she was a kid. She had no choice at that time. She knew very little about herself. It's understandable. That was traumatic. But the second time she went through the same experience was when she was an adult. At that time, her body reacted violently, and that was because she was familiar with people. She wasn't familiar with herself. She trusted someone else more than she trusted herself. And that happened because she never practiced spending time with herself. She never practiced being familiar with herself. It is so important for you to be familiar with yourself. Spend more and more time with yourself. And today she continues to be the same. Now she is familiar in the environment where she goes to, with those few people who are there all the time, and she's familiar spending time with them. But recently, when there was a training program and many people were present in the place, she was again confronted with unfamiliarity, and she once again felt threatened. Familiarity is all about how much you know about yourself. Who are you really? Who are you and what is the mind? Where do the thoughts come from? How does thinking happen? What do I speak? Do I speak my heart or do I speak my mind? Why do I listen to people? What am I listening to? What am I watching? How am I using my senses? All these are a part of familiarity. Practice being with yourself, the real self. And the only way that can happen is to go deep within yourself every day. When you are familiar with yourself, you will no longer feel threatened. The one person whom you really need to know, to be familiar with in all situations, is yourself. Start the journey today, and you will see very soon your threat of being in an unfamiliar situation will no longer exist.